Oh boy, I sure love missing my chance. I love missing my chance on every single opportunity. I love just having one chant the whole time, so I gotta restart the entire run again because I failed a coin flip 15 times. Last week I decided to try placing high in the tournament going on, but little did I know that it would suck. It would suck so bad and so hard, and by the end, I was no longer even enjoying myself. But back to a few days ago, I tried running a few practice runs with the current team I had, and I'm gonna be honest, they were cheeks. They were bad, like really bad. Like I don't even want my score to be displayed on the board type of bad. But it makes sense though. I really only had like units I'd gotten from about like the slime update about like 6 months ago. So, I was basically rolling like Steve Rogers fresh out the ice. So last tourney, I was seeing a lot of like Sukuna strats. Like it seemed like he was basically the go-to for like tournament events. I was like, oh yeah, no harm in getting him. He's a consistent meta unit. He's been doing this for a while. I already had like the Gojo Evo, and I had like 100 special grade objects. Like I got everything I need, so he'd be pretty easy, right? Anyway, I wanted to get a lot of the annoying stuff out of the way first, so I decided to Evo Yuji, and I need some monster parts for him and Sukuna anyway, so I just AFK'd that for like an hour or two, got that done, not too bad. Same thing with the Essence, not too bad. I already had all the like 7 Deadly Sins units, because I did get Pride when he came out. Thank God I didn't get rid of any of them, because that would have been a huge pain. So I thought I might have sold one, but it was pretty easy. And then I evoed Sukuna and did the weird Maharaga quest that they got for some reason. I thought I was all good. I got the glyph and went to craft the helix, but I forgot to get one empty helix. And I was like, oh, that's not too bad. But I thought, no problem, right? You just gotta do a bit of infinite, fill up an Ichor vial. Wrong. Okay, tell me why it took me 9 hours to get one to drop.
Give me a good review.
Okay, I set up like a little macro overnight. I went to sleep, I woke up, I still didn't have one. I thought I was doing something wrong, but no, I just, killed hundreds of bosses and didn't get a 1% drop. It's whatever. It's whatever. But yeah, after all that work though, I was finally able to get Sukuna Godly, and I was super happy about that because I wanted to get him when he came out, but I could not be bothered to do all that farming back then. So I thought after all that, like, wasn't gonna be a lot of work. I just need to get Poochie, and I already got like all of the Evo materials for him from farming for Giorno, so I thought he'd be easy too, because all I was missing were moon fragments, and I was like, oh, I'm sure you could just craft those, right? Also wrong. I was also wrong about that. Now I need you to tell me why the do I gotta wait 3 days to get all these moon fragments I need? Because one spawns at the start of an hour once a day. And I just want to know who decided on that. Like, you basically just in my pants, and there was absolutely no reason to do that. However, after 3 days, I finally got all the frags, evoed him up, then assembled the team. But yeah, after I got all the units I needed for the strat, I decided to roll for him, try and get some good techniques. And I wasn't hoping for a lot, but yes, let's go. Gah! Gah! Please, somebody stop me! Ref, please! Now with a full squad, we hop into the tournament. I start refining my strats, like slowly adapting to the waves. On a side note, I don't know why I didn't just look up a strategy and copy that. Like by the end of it, I basically recreated what everyone else was doing, but it just took me like twice as long to get to that point, and I really could have just saved myself a huge headache. Anyway, I started making it fervor, getting to around the 500 range and getting some decent placements on the board. But at the same time, everyone else also learning the strat people start placing high, so I'm going down. Eventually I had the strategy perfected, and the only thing stopping me at this point was Sukuna's chance. Now I've talked a lot about the tomfoolery I had to deal with just to get to this point in the tourney, but this just might be too much. Now if you don't know, max level Sukuna has 2 active abilities he could use. Both nukes, which is why he's like really good in tournaments. One of them is Shrine, which does like 500 build to every enemy on the map. Very good, very solid damage. His other ability though, Chant, I despise. It's a nuke that progressively does more damage the more you use the ability, right? So it starts with 25 billion, 50 billion, 100 billion, and 500 billion. However, you only have a 50% chance of going up to the next stage, and the other half of the time, the full thing just resets back to 1. So you could be on like your 3rd count and about to hit your 4th, get that big nuke you need to place like top 15, and then nope, resets your count and you have to restart the entire match and hope that you get luckier next time. And I say this with my full chest, you know, my full fiber of my being. Why? Why would you choose to do this? It serves purely to just waste people's time. Like, just don't even make it a chance-based thing. Just make it like have to go up another account, or like just nerf the ability slightly. I don't know, man. Just don't make it like basically a coin flip if you're gonna do it. Like, it's annoying. It's annoying, man. Like, I can't. Why would you do that? Literally anything else other than this would be better. So I had to spend hours on runs due to getting bad RNG on Chance.
I just can't do it. I can't take it. Man.
All that aside though, I locked in. I put that pen to the paper, I put the 6 to the eyes, I put the cleave to the dismantle. I only had a few hours left in the tournament at this point, but I basically had the strat down, like, perfected. So it was all down to a game of chance if I was gonna place top 40. Now I really wanted to get up there because I really wanted those extra pearls, man. Because man, it is tough getting crazy amounts of pearls that I need, and I am the unluckiest man on the planet, man. I got Midas on my Wukong, man. like that was one of my first rules too. Like, I basically burned all my luck on that, because now I can't even get glorious. I just get magical, and magical is doo-doo cheeks. I don't want that on my units. Anyway, by the end of it though, this was the best run I could get. I was basically a human macro. I've done this dozens of times at this point. My chants were going through, the bosses not getting screwed over on, all of them were normal, and it was looking like it just might be the run. I activate my last chant and it goes through. I use the rest of my nukes and I end up getting 694. I'd been up all night at that point, and I was so relieved. I felt like I was finally free. But I still didn't place top 40, by the way. Yeah, it was a decent run, but definitely could have gotten higher if I just had better enemy RNG and I had better timings on my part. But I ended up placing a heartbreaking 43 though. Just a few spots away from top 40 and getting all this extra dusk pearls. But you know, there's always next time, you know. But people were placing like crazy high in this tournament though, getting around like 770 range, numbers that were just like impossible for me. Well, it turns out Sukuna was actually not the best strat for this tournament. The one tournament I actually tried participating in, and they decided to switch up the metas on me. Now, apparently it was the new godly Shinra that was meta, but I didn't have him yet. And I only found out about that like 2 days before the tournament was over, and I could not be bothered grinding for him, man. I gotta be honest. Like, I already done all the stuff for Sukuna, and I still had like 30 dungeons left to do for Infernal, and I just like, you know, I have my limits, and this game was breaking into my goon time already, so I had to stop. It certainly wasn't from a lack of trying though. I was preparing to get him by rolling traits on Shinra, but yeah, it was just not my week to get him, and you know, I accepted that. You know, you aren't always going to be able to win, and that's okay. You know, people aren't perfect, and we're all going to make mistakes, and we just got to keep going and developing ourselves, you know, just trying to be a better person than we were the day before. I'm still pissed though, not gonna lie. I really need those extra pearls.